Hello friends. Now let us take up the training session 1 in our UPI training program. I hope that all of you watched 2 roadmap videos. One thing I would like to tell you, they're totally a unique course, first ever in the world of programming studies. Nobody offered this type of course. That's why you may not know any bit of this. My system, my strategies, my support, all that you should know thoroughly. For that, without having any laziness, first watch the roadmap before moving to this. Then only you can have clear idea. Or otherwise, without having proper route and address, you would like to reach a destination. That point you keep in mind. And before starting training session 1, watch the video thoroughly. And if you have any doubts, just write to me. Okay. Actually, once again, I am telling you, my 20 years of experience I have incorporated in the 2 videos. That's why, just by watching that, how you can progress in the field of software domain, you can understand. Okay. Now, first training session, we are dealing with the computer basics. Actually, you want to evolve as a industry ready programmer. For that, the most essential prerequisite is you must know about computer. First, you must know about computer ins and outs. Thereafter, you should know about programming and its strategies and all that you have to understand. That's why in training session 1, I am going to explain only 5 concepts. Actually, if you take computer basics, there are a bundle of concepts, at least 50-60 concepts we have to discuss. But if I start doing that, you feel boring. However, contextually explain. Here, I am going to explain only 5 concepts. 5 concepts, matter of just 1 hour, 1 hour or under 10 minutes more. Okay. So, if you watch these concepts, you can have thorough understanding over the computer system. That point you have to understand. One time watch is enough. One time watch is enough. By that, you can understand one thing. And one time if you go through also, that is better. Okay. Now, the first concept, this understanding computer system practically. Actually, if I have to explain about computer system, there are so many elements and all that, it takes a lot of time. That's why computer system and human system means a person are alike only. Just you may wonder how they are alike and all that. The total functionality is alike. That's why through human being aspect, through a person aspect, I explain about computer system and you love it, no doubt about that. Simply watching this 15 minutes video, you can have a clear understanding of the components of a computer and its modus operandi. Okay, that is very important. Thereafter, components of a computer. Actually, computer is not it is a system. It is composition of several components. Several components, 20, 30 components will be there. But I don't explain individually components and all that. Depending on the functionalities, there are only 6 functionalities. Depending on the functionalities of a computer, I classify all the hardware elements in a computer and explain. By that, 2 things you understand. First, you know about components of a computer. The second one is the functionalities of a computer and how all these functionalities in a synchronized manner they work and to give result. That is very important. This you can understand classification of hardware. That you can understand simply. First one is about all about computer system practically. Second one is classification of hardware. Third one is software. Software means nothing but programs. Software also different types. We have to understand classification of software. Here, a computer system is the composition of hardware and software. Without one, other one is useless. Without software, hardware has no use at all. Without hardware, software has no use. That's why through classification, we know about different types of softwares. Fourth one is programming languages. Here, 5 prime programming languages I'm taking, and I explaining about their features, why different programming languages, and I explain about 5 prominent programming languages. There are dozens of programming languages in the world of programming, but I explain about only 5 programming languages. This is very important because if I don't explain, you get several doubts and all that. That should be clarified first. And the fifth one, internet, web means World Wide Web, that is 3W, and protocols. Actually, one thing you must remember: if internet, web are not there, you have to, you are standalone. In your premise only you have to work. You cannot communicate to the world. That's why you must know about internet, World Wide Web, and protocols, the basics. I am not going to explain so technically. Basic from real life angle I explain. So if you understand the 5 concepts and all that, they avert or suppress future doubts. You can understand future concepts logically. That's why from real life angle I am explaining everything, not a technical angle. You love it, and first you complete this. Otherwise, if you want to get comment over that, one more time watch. Just a matter of 60 to 70 minutes of my lecture cover all the 5 concepts. Hello friends. Before explaining computer basics, I would like to explain 4 important points which contribute a lot for your professionalism. In order to evolve as a professional, programming professional, you must understand the real spirit of these 4 points and implement hereafter. What is your past and all that, I don't bother. Okay, you keep it aside. And hereafter, whatever philosophy I am preaching, you strictly follow that and you love it. It is not a burden at all. I am not putting any restrictions on you and all that. Whatever I tell, if you follow, then you love it from the minute one. Okay, the first one is computer common sense. Actually, common sense is very, very core in real life or programming. I am not talking about intelligence. Common sense. Common sense means you may get it out. What is common sense? Common sense means you should know all the things, all the events around you. For that, you need not make any study. Suppose if you go to a bank, what operations are being done in a bank, you have to understand. What are the simple procedures, basic procedures, and all that you have to understand. Everything should not be a puzzle to you. In that way, you should study. Automatically, your brain studies. Then, what is your environment? You should know. And in respective situations, you have to make sound judgments. Sound judgment is required. If you have the basics and if you have common sense, then only you take a sound judgment that is very useful to you. Okay, now let us come to our field. Actually, as far as programming concerned, many people feel intelligence. Intelligence is not required. Intelligence is there. It is a privilege for you. I am not intelligent at all. I have ample common sense. Actually, there is a great saying in English: 1 unit of learning requires 10 units of common sense to apply that. Learning is easy. 1 unit of learning requires 10 units of common sense to apply that. How to improve your common sense and all that? Contextually, I explain. And by seeing some examples, I explain. Thereafter, you change your perspective, and every time you try to improve your common sense. That point you have to understand. In the roadmap videos only I told you the essential prerequisites of every software career aspirant is 3 C's: computer, commitment, and common sense. Don't forget that. Okay. Second one is owning concepts. Actually, owning concepts. This word several people use, but you may not know the real meaning. Actually, I ask you one question: what you did yesterday? You are able to explain it fluently without any reference. You just recall and tell you all what you did and all that. Okay. Now, in the same manner, if you own the concept, you can explain any concept, any technical or other concepts, you can explain the same manner. For that simple tip I am going to give you, hereafter you follow that strictly. Now, you are just going to enter into computer basics to study them. So, First watch the first concept. No technicals. Technical things are being explained from real life angle. So you can understand if you are a 10th class student also 100% you can understand. No doubt about that. You never get any doubt. Then after completion of that, pose a question. Can I explain this concept to somebody? Anybody. You need not explain in classroom. If it is a privilege, you can explain it also. Otherwise, anybody, your friend or your brother or anybody who is interested, if you explain, then if you have to explain and all that, always you face a challenge. Just otherwise, pose a question to you after first concept is over. So until you get confidence, self-confidence to explain the concept, watch the lecture. One more time, nothing will happen, but one shot, you won the concept. That is the great tip because that is very, very important. Conceptual knowledge is very, very important and all that. For that, you need not by heart. By hearting, don't get anything. So, by watching and questioning yourself, whether I explain this concept to somebody, then you get it. Okay. Third one is subject oriented communication skills. Many people ask you one thing, communication skills means English communication skills. Okay, English communication skills are okay. But if you have good English communication skills also, if you don't have subject, what can your English will not help? Understand? So subject oriented communication. Then you can make it whenever you own a concept, then only you can make a subject oriented communication. That point you have to understand. That's why second point and third point are connected. That point you have to understand. Whenever you go for an examination or interview, subject orientation knowledge is required, especially in interviews. Subject oriented communications are very important to grab a job. That point you have to understand. Finally, time framed study plan. Actually, I am providing you 120 training sessions, means 120 hours of uh, training program, which covers all the subjects in UPA. Already explained to you. So, according to your customized plan, you make out your plan. You make out your plan and study it. Finish it within the time frame. I gave you, I recommended one thing. Weekly 5 training sessions you complete. Any backlogs are there, weekend you complete. By that, within 24 hours, 5 into 24, 24 weeks, you can complete that. So these 4 points you understand and grasp the real spirit of them and implement.